Welcome to History Facts and Mysteries, your channel for deep dives into the past's most influential figures and events. Today, we're exploring one of the most legendary leaders of all time, Julius Caesar. If you're fascinated by political intrigue, military genius, and the dramatic rise and fall of empires, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode that uncovers the mysteries of history. Julius Caesar wasn't just a military commander or a politician. He was a transformational leader whose actions reshaped the course of Roman history and left a legacy that echoes through time. In today's video, we'll explore his early life, his meteoric rise to power, his groundbreaking military campaigns, his complex political reforms, and the dramatic events leading up to his assassination. We'll also examine the lasting impact of Caesar's leadership on the world and why he remains a subject of fascination and controversy even 2 millennia later. The early life of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was born on July 12 or 13, 100 BC into the patrician Julian family, a family that claimed descent from the goddess Venus. Although his family was aristocratic, they were not particularly wealthy or influential at the time of his birth. Early on, Caesar was exposed to the political turbulence that would later define his life. Growing up in Rome, young Caesar received a traditional education, one that emphasized rhetoric, literature, and the art of persuasion. His early years were marked by both privilege and challenge. Although he was born into an elite family, the volatile nature of Roman politics meant that even those with noble blood could face hardship. By immersing himself in studies and military training, Caesar began to develop the characteristics that would later define him: brilliance in strategy, an insatiable hunger for glory, and an uncanny ability to inspire loyalty in those around him. The rise to power. Caesar's rise to power was anything but linear. His early career was a balancing act of military exploits, political alliances, and navigating the dangerous world of Roman senatorial politics. In his 20s, he served in Asia and Cilicia, experiences that not only honed his military skills but also exposed him to the complexities of governing diverse peoples. His political ascent was accelerated by his exceptional oratory skills and his willingness to form alliances with powerful figures. One of his earliest political alliances was with the Populares, a faction that championed the cause of the common people against the conservative Optimates. This association gave Caesar a platform to build his reputation as a champion of reform. A turning point in his career came when he was elected as aedile and later praetor, roles that provided him with critical administrative experience. These positions allowed him to demonstrate his ability to organize public games, distribute food, and manage the sprawling logistics of the Roman state. Each step forward in the political arena increased his influence among both the people and his fellow senators. Yet, Caesar's ambition was not confined to the halls of the Senate. His keen interest in military command led him to seek out opportunities on the battlefield where his leadership skills would shine. His conquest of Gaul is perhaps the most notable example. Through a series of brilliant military campaigns that spanned nearly a decade, Caesar expanded Rome's territories dramatically. These victories not only brought him immense wealth and prestige but also gave him a loyal army whose support would prove indispensable in his later bid for ultimate power. Military genius, the conquest of Gaul. One cannot discuss Julius Caesar without delving into his military campaigns, particularly his conquest of Gaul. Beginning in 58 BC, Caesar's Gallic Wars transformed him from a talented general into a national hero. Over the course of 8 years, he led his legions into battle against various Gallic tribes, using innovative tactics and unwavering discipline to subdue a vast and varied territory. Caesar's military genius lay in his ability to adapt and innovate. He reorganized his army into highly mobile units, employed fortification strategies, and used psychological warfare to undermine the morale of his enemies. His detailed commentaries, compiled in his work Commentari de Bello Gallico, not only documented his campaigns but also served as powerful propaganda that bolstered his reputation back in Rome. The conquest of Gaul had far-reaching consequences. It significantly expanded Rome's territory, enriched its coffers, and provided Caesar with a loyal and battle-hardened force. But more importantly, it set the stage for his later confrontation with the Senate. With his armies at his back and his name synonymous with military victory, Caesar was well positioned to challenge the established order in Rome. The political realignment and the First Triumvirate. While his military success was breathtaking, Caesar was also a master of political maneuvering. In 60 BC, he entered into an alliance known as the First Triumvirate with Pompey Magnus and Crassus. This informal coalition allowed these three powerful men to dominate Roman politics. Each member of the triumvirate brought something vital to the table: Pompey's military acclaim, Crassus's immense wealth, and Caesar's growing popularity and ambition. This alliance was crucial in furthering Caesar's career. It provided him with the political backing necessary to secure the consulship in 59 BC, and later, to command the armies that would fight in Gaul. The triumvirate also helped to neutralize the opposition of the Senate for a time, as these three men could essentially override the traditional senatorial authority. However, the alliance was always fragile. The death of Crassus in 53 BC and the growing rivalry between Caesar and Pompey eventually led to the collapse of the triumvirate. The political landscape of Rome was shifting, and it wasn't long before the struggle for power turned into open conflict. Despite these challenges, the period of the triumvirate was essential in establishing Caesar's dominance and setting him on a collision course with Rome's conservative elites. The crossing of the Rubicon and the Civil War. In 49 BC, with his back against the wall and his ambitions at stake, Caesar made one of history's most famous decisions. He crossed the Rubicon River with his army. This bold move was tantamount to declaring war on the Roman Senate and ignited a civil war that would ultimately change the face of Rome forever. The phrase, "crossing the Rubicon," has since become synonymous with taking an irrevocable step. For Caesar, it meant leaving behind the legal boundaries that separated a military commander from a citizen and boldly stepping into the realm of dictatorship. With his legions in tow, he marched on Rome, and the ensuing civil war pitted him against the forces loyal to Pompey and the Senate. Caesar's swift and decisive actions during the Civil War showcased his unparalleled strategic acumen. He outmaneuvered his enemies in several critical battles, securing victory through a combination of speed, tactical brilliance, and the loyalty of his seasoned troops. By the time he emerged victorious, Caesar had not only seized control of Rome but had also cemented his place as one of history's most formidable military leaders. Reforms, power, and the transformation of Rome. With the victory in the Civil War, Julius Caesar's power reached unprecedented heights. As he took control of the Roman state, he initiated a series of reforms that fundamentally transformed Roman society and government. Recognizing that the old republican institutions were ill-equipped to manage the vast territories under Rome's control, Caesar set about reorganizing the government to create a more centralized and efficient administration. One of his most significant reforms was the overhaul of the calendar. By introducing the Julian calendar, Caesar not only streamlined timekeeping but also provided a more accurate system that would be used in Europe for centuries to come. His reforms extended to the realms of taxation, land distribution, and even public welfare, as he sought to address the deep-seated inequalities that had plagued Rome for years. Caesar also reformed the Senate, increasing its size and attempting to dilute the influence of the traditional aristocracy. In doing so, he aimed to create a more meritocratic system that would reward talent and loyalty over birthright. These reforms, while transformative, also stirred controversy among Rome's conservative factions, who saw them as a direct challenge to the old order. The assassination of Julius Caesar. Perhaps the most dramatic and fateful moment in Caesar's life was his assassination on the Ides of March, 44 BC. As he sat in the Senate, a group of conspirators led by Brutus, Cassius, and other prominent senators stabbed him to death. They believed that by eliminating Caesar, they could restore the Republic and prevent him from establishing a tyrannical monarchy. The assassination, however, had the opposite effect. Instead of restoring the old Republic, it plunged Rome into further chaos. The power vacuum left by Caesar's death sparked a new round of civil wars, eventually leading to the rise of his adopted heir, Octavian, and the transformation of Rome into an empire. In many ways, the assassination was a turning point, a dramatic end to Caesar's life but only the beginning of a new era in Roman history. The conspirators' actions have been debated by historians for centuries. Were they truly trying to save the Republic? Or were they driven by personal ambition and a desire to regain lost power? Whatever their motives, the murder of Julius Caesar remains one of the most infamous events in history. A cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked power and the volatile nature of political life. The legacy of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's impact on history cannot be overstated. His military conquests, political reforms, and personal charisma helped shape the destiny of Rome and laid the groundwork for the Roman Empire. His life has been immortalized in literature, art, and film, and his name is synonymous with leadership, ambition, and dramatic transformation. Caesar's legacy extends far beyond his lifetime. The Julian calendar, his administrative reforms, and his military strategies influenced generations of leaders, military commanders, and politicians. His life and death sparked a series of events that ultimately ended the Roman Republic and paved the way for the rise of the Roman Empire under Augustus. In many ways, the modern world is still shaped by the ripple effects of his actions. Personality, leadership, and controversy. Julius Caesar was a man of many contradictions. His charisma and brilliance on the battlefield were matched by his political acumen and his controversial approach to power. Known for his eloquent speeches and his ability to connect with the masses, Caesar was both a populist leader and a shrewd strategist. He understood the importance of public image and used propaganda effectively to bolster his reputation. Yet, his leadership style was not without its detractors. Many in the Senate viewed his accumulation of power as an existential threat to the Republic. His reforms, though progressive in many ways, alienated the conservative elites who had long held sway over Roman politics. This duality, of a leader who could inspire the common people while simultaneously provoking the ire of the ruling class, is a key part of what makes Julius Caesar such a compelling figure in history. His personal life, too, was marked by drama and complexity. Caesar's numerous affairs, his political alliances, and his ability to charm both allies and enemies alike have all contributed to the enduring mystique that surrounds him. In many ways, his life story is a mirror reflecting the tensions between ambition and responsibility, between personal desire and public duty. The impact on Roman history and modern politics. Julius Caesar's transformative impact on Rome was profound. His actions precipitated the end of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire, a change that would influence the political structures of Western civilization for centuries. The centralization of power, the reorganization of the state, and the military innovations he championed set precedents that echo in modern political systems. Modern leaders and strategists often reference Caesar's tactics and policies when discussing issues of leadership and governance. His legacy is a reminder of the delicate balance between authority and accountability, and the consequences of concentrating too much power in the hands of one individual. Whether admired as a military genius or criticized as a would-be dictator, Caesar's influence remains a touchstone in the ongoing debate about the nature of leadership and the costs of ambition. Continuing the legacy. What we can learn from Caesar. Even today, the story of Julius Caesar offers timeless lessons on leadership, strategy, and the dynamics of power. His life teaches us that bold decisions can transform history, but that such decisions come with immense risk and responsibility. As we reflect on his achievements and his tragic end, we are reminded that the quest for power must always be balanced with wisdom and restraint. For those interested in understanding the complexities of leadership in any era, studying Caesar provides invaluable insights. From his innovative military tactics to his ambitious political reforms, his career offers a roadmap of both what can be achieved and the potential pitfalls that lie in the path of unchecked ambition. His life is a testament to the idea that great leadership is as much about inspiring others as it is about having a clear vision of the future. Julius Caesar remains one of history's most enigmatic and influential figures. His journey from a young nobleman with modest beginnings to a military commander who reshaped the Roman world is nothing short of legendary. Through his conquests in Gaul, his bold political alliances, and his dramatic rise and fall, Caesar left a legacy that continues to fascinate and inspire us today. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and legacy of Julius Caesar. If you enjoyed this exploration and want to uncover more fascinating stories from the annals of history, please don't forget to subscribe to History Facts and Mysteries and click the bell icon for updates on our latest videos. Your support helps us continue to bring you the untold stories of the past.